Hey everybody, thank you for joining me again today. My name is Lunchkilla, and today's video is going to be about the newest installment to the Hunger Games book series, The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. Now, this book will be kind of ahead of the Hunger Games original storyline by about 64 years. So I'm just going to start off by reading the summary on Audible just to give you an idea of what the book is about. It is the morning of the reaping that will kick off the 10th annual Hunger Games. In the capital, 18-year-old Coriolanus Snow is preparing for his one shot at glory as a mentor in the games. The once mighty House of Snow has fallen on hard times, its fate hanging on the slender chance that Coriolanus will be able to charm, outwit, and outmaneuver his fellow students to mentor the winning tribute. The odds are against him. He's been given the humiliating assignment of mentoring the female tribute from District 12, the lowest of the low. Their fates are now completely intertwined. Every choice Coriolanus makes could lead to favor or failure, triumph or ruin. Inside the arena, it will be a fight to the death. Outside the arena, Coriolanus starts to feel for his doomed tribute and must weigh his need to follow the rules against his desire to survive, no matter what it takes. When I read this summary about a month ago, I saw it and was a little bit confused on how the story would play out, because in our eyes as the readers, Snow is kind of an evil character. So to be seeing him as a main character in this book kind of throws you off trying to figure out who he's going to be kind of like portraying. Is he going to be portraying a Snow who starts off with good intentions and then slowly gets sucked in by the capital? Or is he just originally a bad person who's power hungry and willing to do anything to get that power? The first thing that I get from this summary is the fact that President Snow, or Coriolanus Snow at the time, is training a District 12 female tribute, and if this is true, then she could very well be the first District 12 tribute to win the Hunger Games, and only up until Haymitch Abernathy and then later on Peeta and Katniss. So if this is the first instance, this could be the beginning of his rise to power. And I kind of have a theory on it, and it might be a little bit out there, but from the original book, we understand that Katniss doesn't really know anything about the original District 12 winner, the first District 12 winner. So there's nothing really to go off on this winner. So maybe she ended up falling in love with Snow and moving to the capital, effectively cutting her off from Katniss's life so she would never come to know her. Like I said, I know it's kind of a theory that's a little bit out there, but you never know. Anyways, let's get into the first chapter of the Hunger Games. But anyways, let's get into the first chapter of Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. So at the beginning of chapter 8, we are introduced to an 18-year-old Coriolanus Snow who is making cabbage stew. And at this time, he states that one day it'll never pass his lips again. In this first sentence alone, we kind of understand Snow's current life situation and his big plans for himself in the future. And from this point on, it's a lot of background information kind of on Snow and on the war and its effect on the capital. During the war, Snow had lost both of his parents, causing him to have to go live with his grandmother and his cousin Tigress, who also lost her parents. Is this the Tigress that we know from the final book in the series that helps Katniss and her team escape the peacekeepers? There's no telling really right now. It could say later on in the book, there's not really any telling. Now after the war, the Snows were pretty much left with nothing, but this didn't stop Coriolanus from doing everything to uphold his name and to do his best in school, which ultimately led him to becoming a mentor for one of the tributes in the Hunger Games. Now, the 10th annual Hunger Games is actually the first Hunger Games that allowed mentors to teach tributes, because before this, they just dropped them off in the arena and they went at it. But at the time of this book, the capital citizens didn't really view the Hunger Games as a festive event. They kind of saw it as more of like a barbaric thing that the capital did, and they didn't really want to watch it, so a lot of the times they just didn't view it. But the mentors were brought in as kind of a hopes to boost up the Hunger Games popularity and getting more citizens to watch it, and then basically bringing it to the Hunger Games that we know in the original story. Another way that they kind of keep the Hunger Games fresh in the citizens' memory is the fact that even 10 years after the events of the war, the streets and buildings in many places were just left in ruins, causing a lot of citizens to have to kind of navigate themselves around them to and from different places. So this was kind of the capital's way of kind of keeping the war fresh in the citizens' memory to keep the Hunger Games fresh. The last thing I'm going to talk about from this chapter is the fact that we get even more insight into President Snow's head when we get to see how he kind of obsesses over things, such as the shirt that he's going to wear to the reaping ceremony. It's kind of in ruins, so he's trying to get his cousin to mend it, but she goes out and he doesn't know where she is for the longest time, so he begins to debate not even going to the reaping. He's willing to skip the reaping and possibly even be kicked as a mentor just because he doesn't want someone to view him poorly because of a shirt. But Tigris does finish the shirt on time, and the chapter ends with him walking up the steps to his school where he will receive the tribute that he will be coaching for the 10th annual Hunger Games. Anyways, that was my short rundown of the first chapter of Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope if you have any kind of theories that you think could happen later on in the book, you would leave them down below, and I would love to read your opinions. Anyways, thank you for watching. My name is Lunchkilla, and I'll see you guys later.